Hello everybody, my name is Elena. I'm a K-5 behavior special education teacher in the state of Iowa, and this is my vlog. If you are new here, usually I do vlogs around just like a day in my life or a week in my life. I am a new mom. My husband and I adopted a son in August. He's 9, and then I gave birth to our daughter back in September. So I am 2 months postpartum, and I've spent most of the school year on maternity leave. So a lot of my videos have been mom focused lately, but I am week 3 back in the classroom for the school year, back from maternity leave. And so most of my vlogs have gone back to just kind of documenting my days and weeks here and sharing some of the tips and things that we do in the classroom relating to behavior and special education. Today, I want this video to be a little bit different and just focus a little bit more on the problem solving process when we're talking about behavior and problem solving behavior specifically. And, especially when we get around those like bigger behaviors that can be confusing, I just wanted to talk through the process that I go through and see if it would be helpful to anyone watching about how we kind of break it down and then go into building a behavior intervention plan from there. So I will say a lot of the things that I'm going to reference came from some different trainings and books that I have read, and then I have kind of just put together my own process and my own problem solving template that I have typed up here, which I don't have on my Teachers Pay Teachers right now, but I will type it out separately and probably post it there so that you can access it as well. Since I am sharing all this information with you via this video, there's no point in you going and typing up what I've already got typed up in the process that I follow. So I can work on getting that there and linked into this as well. But I'm going to walk you through the problem solving template that I use. And then, what I was saying, sorry, mom brain. I have taken a lot of courses from Jessica Minahan and read her books. If you have not read the Behavior Code and the second companion one to it, I highly, highly suggest it, because a lot of the processes that I go through and a lot of the strategies that I use are direct reflections of her work, and I've just kind of like compiled them with other things that I already know together, but in other trainings that I've gone to. But she would say it's probably like the biggest influence as far as how I think about behavior and problem solve it. So if you are looking for even more deeper information, that is where I would refer you to. So after all of that, the process that I use. So in this pretend scenario that we're going to walk through, we have a student who's having problem behavior, and we need to figure out a plan, some interventions that are going to work, preventative strategies that are going to help correct this behavior. So the first thing that I do is name the problem behavior. Okay, so examples of that might be non-compliance, it might be physical aggression, physical disruption, verbal disruption, self-injurious behavior, threats to self or others, inappropriate language. Those are the ones that coming off the top of my head, the ones that we tend to name and monitor as a part of our behavior progress monitoring and plans. So the first thing you need to do is name the behavior. Problem behavior, everything's behavior. Me talking right now, that is a behavior. So problem behavior is what we are talking about. The second step to that, and then, is to ask yourself, what is the child communicating here? One of the main foundations of understanding behavior is that behavior is communication. And so if we are trying to problem solve a behavior, we need to understand, what is the child communicating? What do they not have the skills to communicate in an appropriate way? So what are they communicating here? Is the work too hard? They didn't get enough sleep last night and they're tired. They really just need some attention. Mom and dad worked an overnight shift last night and no one really paid attention, and so they just need some attention right now. They need a little extra love. I really hate math and I don't want to do this math assignment, or I'm really upset, I'm really frustrated, and I don't have the skills to regulate myself. What are they communicating here and why? So that is going to be key in the next step and all the following steps, is understanding what they're communicating. Are we ever going to know 100% what they're communicating? I mean, maybe if they tell you, but really we're just kind of hypothesizing here of like what this behavior is trying to communicate for them. Then step 3 would be to hypothesize a function. Now, I am not a board certified behavior analyst. I do not have a BCBA degree. However, I do work with a lot of school psychologists who do have that certification and degree, and we can all just do our best to hypothesize a function. That is, if a child is identified and will be receiving special education services, then a formal functional behavior analysis, or an FBA, will be completed by somebody with that degree. A school psychologist generally is who it is. Generally, school districts have to hire out for that service. So, if you're talking special education, somebody with that certification will fill out and come up with a formal FBA. However, if you're just trying to problem solve behavior within your classroom, you're just going to do our best to hypothesize a function. So the most common functions for behavior are to gain adult attention, gain peer attention, gain a tangible, so it'd be like something you can touch in your hands, whether it's a game, a toy, a food, something. It could be escape, so you can escape a social situation or escape a work task. And then there is a very, very, very small percentage of behavior that is automatic, but that deals with a very, very small population of students. If you're watching this video and you're working with a student in like the general education setting, I'm gonna bet the behavior is likely not automatic, but again, you would need somebody who is a board certified behavior analyst to tell you whether it's an automatic function or not. And if it's an automatic function, then the following things aren't gonna apply. So we're just gonna assume it's either a gain or an escape function. Like I said, we're gaining attention. It can be peer or adult. You might be gaining a tangible, or you're escaping a social situation and escaping a work task. Now, I will say, if I was ever going to get my PhD in something, I would try to research and propose that there is another function for gain, that is gaining control. I see a lot of students who will self-sabotage in order to still gain control over the situation, gain control over their surroundings. So I would throw that out there as another possible function. However, I don't have the research to support that, and that has not been officially identified as a function. So please don't be writing that, but I always keep that in the back of my mind of like just trying to gain control over the situation. Okay, so we've gone through our first 3 steps. Step 4 then is to ask ourselves what skills are needed to act or respond appropriately in the situation that the student is missing. So are we missing self-regulation skills? Are we missing accurate thinking skills? I have a lot of students who perceive things in one way that is not accurate for the situation. So we're missing those accurate perception and accurate thinking skills. Are there social skills for interacting with other people that we don't have? Do we not have the skill to say hello? Do we not have the skill to have a conversation with somebody? Is it an executive functioning skill? We're missing some organizational skills, or we can't do multi-step problems or follow multi-step directions. Is it flexible thinking or perspective taking, wanting or delayed gratification, internalizing time and transitions that we're not understanding, work avoidance? Work avoidance also can get broken down into multiple skills that are missing. So according to Jessica Minahan, so I'm referencing her work again, if you've got work avoidance or non-compliance for a task, the skills that are actually missing that we are trying to teach around and implement strategies for actually are around persistence skills, initiating work skills, help-seeking skills, or academic skills that are lacking, like the work is too hard. So do we have the skill for the replacement behaviors of being able to ask for help? Do they know how to ask for help? Or if the replacement behavior is break, do we not? I mean, that I guess gets into the programming, but what skills are missing? We've figured out what they're communicating, we're hypothesizing a function, and then what skills are missing here to act appropriately. So, for example, if a student is in class and the work is really hard, and they're frustrated and they shut down and they rip up their paper, they're communicating, likely I would hypothesize that they're communicating the work is hard and I can't do it on my own. The function I would say to be escape the work task, we ripped it up because we don't want to do it anymore, and the skill missing is, I would say, persistence and help seeking. That those were either, like, they could have had some persistence strategies in order to continue working on that task, or we could have some help seeking strategies to know how to seek help from somebody to finish a task that is really hard. So those would be the skills that I would say are missing. So those are the first 4 steps. Step 5, then you need to decide an action step of what you're going to do about it. So we know what they're communicating, the function, and what the skills are missing, where you can go from here, things that you can do. You could teach some social skills around the skill deficit. If a student has an IEP already, then you probably have social skills time built in around their behavior goal. And that's where you would be addressing these skills. Do we have executive functioning skills missing? Do we have self-regulation skills missing? Is it the help seeking strategy that we need to teach replacement behavior for seeking help or asking for a break? Those would all be around social skills around that skill deficit. You can also match a new replacement behavior. So like I've mentioned before, asking for break, asking for help. I implemented this week with a student having a something else folder because this work is really unpreferred, and so we're going to ask to do something else, of something that looks like work, but it's something a little more preferred and enjoyable for us to do. And we're going to teach them and reinforce asking to do something else so that we're not kicking and throwing things trying to escape the non-preferred activity. You could also implement an accommodation, and so that's something I will talk about later, accommodations matched to the different skills and behaviors that are missing. Or try a preventative strategy, which is something that I want to address below. But those could be your action steps. So teaching social skills around the skill deficit, matching a new replacement behavior, implementing accommodation, implementing a prevention strategy, or if we are really, really, really struggling, things that you can do especially if you're dealing with any unsafe or concerning behaviors, address that first. Talk with your school psychologist, your BCBAs if you have any, or your other SPED teachers, whoever your resources are, but prioritize that most concerning behavior first, or unsafe behavior first. So if we have physical aggression as a problem, we have to figure out how to get that under control before we're really worried about the non-compliance and the work tasks that aren't getting completed, right? So that can be hard for everyone to understand, but if you're logically thinking about it, if we are engaging in unsafe behaviors, we're not getting work done anyways. So we need to create a plan around safety first, and then as we've got the safety under control, we can start reintroducing some work tasks as the student has stamina for that. Another strategy and other plan you can do is to collect ABC data. So ABC stands for antecedent, behavior, and consequence, trying to figure out a pattern as to, if you're not sure what the trigger is for the student and why these behaviors are happening, you're trying to find a pattern. The ABC data can be really helpful if you're trying to determine the function and find a pattern for that behavior. And then, just collect that data and analyze it, and you're going to need to use your resources to help you analyze it. I have forms already that I have made for collecting ABC data. You can also just search Teachers Pay Teachers or Google and find other ones that are out there too. But that's just all trying to figure out what the pattern is and figure out a trigger so you can best match the preventative strategies along with that, as well as figure out the skills then that are missing to handle that situation appropriately. And now, as I'm looking at my watch, my alarm is going to go off for myself in 1 minute to tell myself that I need to get out of here and go pick up my daughter from daycare, so I need to go and do that. That's all the time that I had today, but I enjoyed the start of this little mini series of problem solving behaviors. So that is just the initial process that I go through when I'm problem solving behaviors. I will continue to film this little mini series of strategies. Next is what it's going to be, and when I talk about the things that we're implementing when we're problem solving there, all the strategies that you could be using as far as replacement behaviors, accommodations, and prevention strategies that you can use, things that are both function based and skill based depending on whatever you determined in your first problem solving. I just got cut off there because my alarm did in fact go off. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed just hearing that process that I use. Like I said, I will include my problem solving strategies list. I'm gonna just for now start with just that problem solving template that I just talked through and get that uploaded for you guys so you can access that and work through it. It helps to have kind of a paper trail of the things that you are working through in problem solving. So I will continue to film these and we'll go through some other strategies. So if you are watching this video and you're like, but you didn't give me any strategies yet, I'm sorry, I have to go pick up my children. So those will be the future videos. If you are watching this not in real time with me and those videos are already posted, find them on my channel and I will organize them according to functions and skill-based strategies that we are using. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that problem-solving process. I hope it was helpful for you. If there's a specific behavior you would like me to use as an example, and I would love to like virtually problem solve that with you here and give you some of the ideas that I would have as far as that behavior and some strategies that might be helpful for it and how I would go through this problem solving template with them. Please let me know, leave it in the comments below, and I would love to work through that with you. But if you enjoyed this at all, found it interesting at all, please go ahead and like and subscribe. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is just a huge milestone for my channel. So I would love and appreciate it if you liked, comment, and especially subscribed and interacted here. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.